In the glittering halls of the world's most advanced virtual empire, he was nothing but a low-tiered player, mocked, humiliated, and publicly discarded by the woman who once promised him eternity. She sneered at his worthless ID, calling him a failure, unfit to stand beside her. The crowd laughed as his avatar vanished into the shadows, stripped of honor, dignity, and love. No one knew that behind that broken mask hid the man who built the very system they worshipped.
Beneath the ruins of betrayal, his true identity stirred from the ashes of humiliation. The man they mocked as a low-level nobody was, in truth, the system admin, the silent architect of the digital empire they worshipped. Every code line, every world, every hidden vault of data had once been born from his hands. For years he had watched from the shadows, letting the system evolve, letting greed and pride infect those who once called him weak. Now he had returned, but not as the broken man they thought they destroyed. With a new alias and a reconfigured ID, he was reborn, untouchable, untraceable, unstoppable. His interface shimmered with commands beyond mortal comprehension, granting him control over every rank, every hidden file, every secret locked behind firewalls that others feared to touch. To the world, he was just another ambitious player. But behind the mask, he was the invisible god of their reality. He began quietly, a line of corrupted code here, a shifted algorithm there. He manipulated the markets of the virtual empire, watching as fortunes collapsed overnight and power shifted unpredictably. Those who had mocked him scrambled for explanations, never realizing the storm came from the very heart of their system. Every arrogant CEO, every corrupt guild leader, he saw them all through his omniscient lens. Their ambitions were toys to him now. And then there was her, the woman who had sneered at his worthless ID, who had chosen wealth and status over loyalty. She ruled now, high atop her empire, bathed in admiration. But her power was built on stolen data, manipulated alliances, and a foundation so fragile that a single keystroke from him could make it crumble. He watched her speeches, her grand tournaments, her smiles crafted for the cameras. And deep inside, the ghost of his past self whispered, "Not yet." He waited for the right moment, for the perfect setup. While she flaunted her supremacy, he rewrote the rules of the game itself. Hidden abilities, secret protocols, ghost accounts, tools that no one but the admin could access, were now his arsenal. Every move she made was tracked. Every alliance she forged already compromised. To her, the system was her domain. To him, it was a living extension of his will. And then, as he stood in the digital shadows of the empire he created, his new identity complete, a smile curved his lips. The world had forgotten him. She had forgotten him. But he never forgot. With one silent command, he activated his comeback protocol. The countdown had begun. And soon every deceit, every betrayal, every false throne would be reduced to nothing but corrupted data in his wake. He was no longer the victim. He was the system itself.
The Grand Tournament was the pinnacle of the virtual empire, where the best players, the richest sponsors, and the most powerful guilds gathered beneath blinding neon lights. Cameras hovered above the arena, streaming every moment to millions across the digital world. At the center stood her, draped in gold and pride, the reigning champion who believed herself untouchable. Her smile was sharp, her words laced with arrogance. "No low level can ever rise above me," she declared, her voice echoing like prophecy. Then the masked challenger entered, silent, unassuming. His ID was unfamiliar, his stats unreadable. The crowd barely noticed him until the match began. From the very first move, the air shifted. His attacks didn't follow the game's rules. His defense moved before her strikes even landed. Every time she tried to activate a special ability, the system lagged, as if the world itself hesitated to obey her. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Who is he? How is he doing that? Her expression faltered. No one had ever made her flinch before. She counted with all her might, summoning forbidden powers and ultimate weapons, but he dismantled them effortlessly, line by line, as if he knew every weakness before she revealed it. In the control room, developers scrambled. "This can't be right," one shouted. "The system's bending around his commands." Another gasped as screens flickered with encrypted lines of ancient code, commands written by the original creator of the system, thought to be long gone. She grew desperate. Her pride began to crack beneath the weight of confusion and fear. The masked man stood still, his avatar glowing faintly with a pulse of pure control. Finally, she screamed across the arena, "Who are you?" His voice was calm, cold, and filled with quiet vengeance. "Did you really think a low-level ID could reach this far?" The crowd fell silent. Her breath caught in her throat. Recognition flickered in her eyes. The tone, the timing, the impossible power. She knew. The man she had discarded, humiliated, erased from her memory, had returned. The arena trembled, as if the system itself was bowing to him. Every screen flickered, revealing lines of data, the hidden truth that no one had dared to believe. He had never been a player. He was the architect, the one who built it all. Her knees weakened, her empire of lies shaking around her. The crowd gasped in awe and terror, and as he raised his hand for the final move, the digital world bent to his command. He didn't just defeat her, he rewrote reality itself.
The moment his final command echoed through the system, the entire arena froze. Her avatar stood trembling, her perfect world collapsing in slow motion. Then, one by one, the screens around them flickered to life, projecting not the tournament results, but her hidden sins. Every encrypted file, every bribe, every stolen algorithm was laid bare before millions of watching eyes. Her alliance with corrupt guilds, her manipulation of rankings, her betrayal of those who trusted her, it all spilled into the digital sky like a storm of justice. The audience gasped. The same people who once cheered her name now stared in disgust. Her sponsors disconnected their feeds. Her team disbanded in panic. The empire she built on deceit crumbled, pixel by pixel before her eyes. She fell to her knees, voice breaking. "Stop it, please!" But the masked man stood, silent, unmoving. His eyes, cold, unwavering, reflected the ruins of what she had become. For a brief moment, he saw the woman who once promised him forever. Then the illusion faded, replaced by the truth of her greed. "You built your throne on my work. Now you'll watch it burn." With a single gesture, the system rebooted. Her ID was erased, wiped clean from existence. The golden avatar that once commanded respect dissolved into nothing, leaving only a faint echo of her final plea. The crowd watched in awe as the system restructured itself, purging corruption, restoring balance. And when it was done, only he remained, standing in the silence of his recreated world. No applause, no glory, just justice. He looked up at the digital skyline where the last fragments of her empire faded into code. The once chaotic system pulsed softly under his control, purified by his will. He had not done it for revenge alone. He had done it to reclaim what was his, to remind them all who held true power. As the lights dimmed and the world returned to peace, his voice whispered through the code, heard only by the system itself. "In this world, mercy is just another line of code, and I deleted it long ago." The empire was his once more, reborn, balanced, and unbreakable. And for the first time since his fall, he allowed himself a small, fleeting smile.